working as the assistant professor in Electronics and Telecommunication Department, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. Today, we are going to see basic electronics. So, in this semester, we are going to see electronics devices and circuits. So, before that, we have to know that what are the concepts of the electronics. So, let us focus on basic electronics. So, in electronics field, the devices are very important. So, these devices are play very important role while we are going to make one system. So, in that, which type of the material is used to form that the electronics devices, these are the very important ones. So, in this session, we are going to first learn about that the materials, electronics materials. So, this theory is from belongs to that the physics. So, in that we have seen that there are three materials which are used to form the electronics devices. So, insulator, semiconductors and conductors. So, these are the three important materials in an electronics field. So, let us see one by one. So, figure shows that the insulator energy diagram for the insulator. So, here valence band and conduction band are there. So, in between that forbidden energy gap is there. So, if you look carefully, then you will get that forbidden energy gap between the valence band and conduction band is so far away from each other. So, what is that the forbidden energy gap? That is nothing but the how much electron volt will be required that electrons jump from the valence band into the conduction band. So here there is a 3 electron volt, that much energy gap between the valence band and conduction band of the insulator. So at the room temperature, if any electrons present in a valence band will not jump into the conduction band, because that electrons require at least or more than 3 electron volt energy, then and then only that electron easily jump into the conduction. So at the room temperature, that material is work as insulator, for example glass. So glass is nothing but the one type of the insulator. So if you see for the glass material, so and you will get the energy band diagram for that. So you will get that the idea there is a valence band and conduction band are far away from each other. So there is at the room temperature, that is 0 Kelvin, there is no electrons flow from the valence band to the conduction band. So glass is nothing but the very good example of the insulator. So like glass, wood is also very good example of that the insulator. Suppose we want to flow that the electrons from that the insulator, then there are possibility of we have to increase that the energy, whatever the required for that the electrons in that the valence band. So we can supply external battery for that, or external energy for that insulator material, or we can increase the temperature. That means that the room temperature we have to increase that much that the electrons from that, or that the electrons from that the conduction band easily jump into the conduction band. So that's why certain materials which are insulators at room temperature, but it becomes the conductors at the high temperature. So if you see the resistivity of insulator material, then it shows that it approximately lies between 10 raised to 11 and 10 raised to 16 ohm. So that much resistivity between that the insulator, so there is no any possibility of that the current flow from the insulating material. So next is nothing but the semiconductors. So semiconductors are those materials which work as an insulator at the room temperature, and it will work as a conductor when we increase the temperature. So if you see that the energy band diagram for that the semiconductor, then there is a small forbidden energy gap between the valence band and the conduction band. So any electrons in a valence band, it will be easily jump into the conduction band. So look here, due to this small forbidden energy gap, less amount of external voltage will excite the electrons in a valence band, and therefore it will jump into the conduction band. So germanium and silicon, these are the two materials, very popular materials which are used in electronics field. So germanium and silicon, which is having less forbidden energy gap between the valence band and the conduction band. So how much that the external voltage will require to jump these electrons into the conduction band? So for the germanium, 0.7 electron volt will be required, and for the silicon it is 1.1 electron volt will be required. So if we applied for the germanium, external supply is more than 0.7 electron volt, then electrons excited would in a valence band for the germanium, it will jump into the conduction band, and at the 0.8 electron volt that the current start flow from that the germanium. And if you look for that the silicon, then when we applied that the external supply which is more than 1.1 electron volt, so at that time also the electrons in a valence band get excited, and it will get that the energy to cross this gap, and it will move into the conduction band. So at that time also from the silicon that the electrons flow from that the material. So this diagram shows that when we apply external supply, at that time electrons are excited from the valence band, and it will leave the valence band, and it will jump into the conduction band. So if you look for the semiconductor, then semiconductor work as an insulator at the zero temperature, and while we are going to increase the temperature, at that time that the semiconductor material work as a conductor. So that's why it is known as the semiconductor. It will work insulator as well as at the conductor. So resistivity in that the semiconductor is 10⁻² ohm per meter. So that resistivity can be increased and decreased depending upon that the surrounding temperature or surrounding voltage applied for that the semiconductor. Then next is nothing but the conductor. So conductor, if you see that the energy band diagram for the conductor, so you will get there is no any forbidden energy gap between that the valence band and conduction band of the conductor. Means what? It is overlapping on each other. So conduction band and valence band overlapping on each other. So there is no any forbidden energy gap between that the conduction band and valence band of the conductor. So due to that very small amount of the external supply, the conductor, from that the conductor electrons are going to be flow. So why? Because of this, because the forbidden energy gap is overlapping in the conductor material. So at the very low temperature or at the room temperature, from the conductor electrons are. So we have learned that the what is insulator, semiconductor and conductor. So whenever we are going to think for this insulator, semiconductor and conductor, then when we plot that the according to the examples of this, so we can say that materials that permit flow of electrons are called as a conductor. So for example, gold, silver, copper, etc. So materials that block flow of electrons are called insulators. For example, rubber, glass, Teflon, mica, etc. Materials whose conductivity falls between those of conductors and insulators are called semiconductors. Semiconductors are Semiconductors are part-time conductors whose conductivity can be controlled. So, in semiconductor, silicon is the most common material used to build the semiconductor devices. So, SI is the main ingredient of sand and it is estimated that a cubic mile of seawater so contains 15,000 tons of SI. So Si is spun and ground into a crystalline structure and cut into wafers to make electronics devices. So see here, when we highly heated that the sand which is available as a raw material, so in the molten there is a bowl type seed crystals are formed. So when they are cut, it will use that the silicon wafers like this. So these silicon wafers are used to make the semiconductor materials. So this is nothing but the procedure how that the semiconductor material is formed. So in this diagram, that the raw material, that is sand, it is heated near about 2570 degree Farad. So in that the molten silicon, the vapors are formed. So that vapors are collected in that the round cylindrical bar. So it forms like that the seed crystals. So these bowls shape are cutted into that the silicon wafers. So we can form that the semiconductor material by using this silicon wafers. So these silicon wafers are used to make the PN junction diodes as well as the transistor as well as that the FET as well as that the resistors. So all that the semiconductor devices are formed by this. Means first upon we have to form that the material, that is nothing but the for example suppose silicon wafers, then this is nothing but the procedure to form that the silicon materials. So in this session we have learned that the insulator, then semiconductor and then conductor. So if you summarize that, then you will get idea that depending upon that the forbidden gap between that the material, the behavior of that the material is going to be changed. Means if suppose that forbidden energy gap between that the material is very high, so that certain materials are work as a insulator. So if you want to convert that insulating material into the semiconductor or conductor, then you have to reduce that the forbidden energy gap of that the material, and then only it is possible to convert that insulator material into maybe in a semiconductor or in a conductors. So again, next is nothing but the semiconductors. So semiconductors also work as a insulator as well as the conductors, because at the room temperature or that the below that the room temperature, that the material will work as a insulator. Why? Because at the room temperature the forbidden energy gap between that the semiconductor material is uh, far away from that the valence band into the conduction band. So at the below room temperature, that the semiconductor work as a insulator. So while when we are uh, moving that the temperature above that the room temperature, then that the material in that semiconductor the forbidden gap get reduced, or that the electrons into that the valence band get easily jump into the conduction band, and then that the material work as a conductor. So it will work as an insulator as well as the conductor. So that's why we can say it is the semiconductor. And for the conductors, the forbidden gap is uh, overlapping on each other. So that's why that conductors at the room temperature also, that the electrons flow from the conductor. So if you see this, then here according to that the material, that the uh, examples are of that material we have shared here. So for insulator, Teflon, glass, and neoprene rubber is used as the insulators. So insulators where it is used, so for the electron device protection, we can use the insulators, or between that the two electronic devices for the separation purpose also we can use the insulators. Then semiconductors, so very famous two semiconductor materials are there, germanium and silicon. So using this germanium and silicon, or in a semiconductor, again there are two types, that is extrinsic and intrinsic semiconductors. So that also we are going to see in our next session. But germanium and silicon plays very important role in the electronics field, because due to this two materials, we can form many devices which are very suitable for that for electronics applications. So germanium and silicon are very or most widely used semiconductor materials are there. Then next comes that the conductors. So at the room temperature also we want, if suppose that the sudden flow of that the electrons, at that time conductors are used. So it is graphite, silver, copper. So these are nothing but the conductors. So here no any external supply will require to flow of that the electrons, means at the room temperature also it will work as a conductor. So if you compare these three, then depending upon that the temperature and external voltage applied for that material, the behavior of that the material is going to be changed. And due to that, means insulator, means at the room temperature insulator work as insulator, semiconductor is work as an insulator, and conductor is work as a conductor. Suppose when we increase the temperature, at that time also insulator work as an insulator, but the semiconductor work as a conductor, and conductors, that the mobility inside that the conductor is also increased due to that the temperature. So temperature and external supply that affect on insulators as well as the semiconductors as well as the conductors. But at what amount we are going to apply, that depending upon that The material work as a insulator, semiconductors and conductors. So in this session we have learned the very basic things of our electronics devices, that is nothing but the material. Means from which material or which type of the material is suitable for the electronics devices, because electronics devices are most of the means at the heart of that the systems. So if they are work properly, then and then only our system will work properly. So very important thing is nothing but the materials which are used to form that the electronics devices. So that's why we have seen that in the very first session, that material, which type of the material is suitable for our electronics devices. Thank you.